Hello and welcome to Saki Tech. So what you're looking at right here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 10.1-inch tablet that was just recently released. So what I want to show you guys here today is when you power on this device for the first time and you set it up, the first thing you see is the old TouchWiz interface. So this is just a regular TouchWiz interface. You've got the widgets right here, you've got the apps, and you can scroll through. You can even pinch to add more home screens to your TouchWiz interface. But as you know, the thing that they've been talking about is the magazine UX interface, which is if you scroll over, this is what you get. This is the magazine UX interface where you get a tile-based interface and you can populate this interface with the things that interest you the most. Now when you switch over from TouchWiz to the magazine UX, you can also pinch here, and once you pinch here, you can add up to 3 home screens. And then at the bottom here, you can pick different categories from where you can add widgets and information to your home screens. So let's take a look at the one in the middle. Right now we have 3, 1, 2, 3 widgets. You can add up to 6 total widgets. So if you tap anything here, it goes right there. And if you want to rearrange the screen, you have 2 options. You can either click change layout, and that's automatic, as you can see. Change. That's automatic again. Or you can do it manually by pressing and holding it. And then you can move this around as you would any other widget. Okay, you can also tap here on the widgets and the thing comes right up. But the easiest way to do this is to pinch in, and then you get the option to customize. And again, you can only add 3 home screens for the magazine UX overlay. Now just to give you a little detail here, this is a home page that I created with only news items. So if you pinch out again and you go over here, it says news items. And from here, oops, sorry, let's go back. It says news items. So from here you can add business to it. If you go back, now I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there is a button on each one of these tiles. There's a refresh button. If you press that, it does a refresh and gets you the latest news. And then there's also a little options pane here. If you tap that, as far as science and technology goes, you can pick other places to feed you news. So let's add this 9 to 5 Mac. Okay, so now you have 9 to 5 Mac, you have top stories, and you have technology from Flipboard being fed to this tile only. Now this tile here is about photos and design, and you can see the title on the top here. Again, you can refresh it or you can press this options button, and then you can choose different places to feed you news. So let's look at it says architecture, so tap that. So now you have the architecture and you've got top stories. If you tap here, you'll get different information being fed to you from the sources that you choose. And then if you scroll over here, this is just the one I created with random stuff. So I went over here to social, I added Flickr, Twitter, and YouTube, and then I put a calendar. And if you want to go to the calendar, you go from social to applications. Okay? So you have 3 panes right now to choose widgets from that you can drop on your home screen. And I'm sure this is going to expand as Samsung adds more and more options. And just to give you a quick demo here, if you go back here, none of these guys are set up. So if you tap them, it's going to ask you to log into your Twitter account, and then you're going to get feeds right there. So let me just skip that for now. If you tab YouTube, it's going to ask you to log into your Google account, which is your YouTube account, and that's going to have feeds for you right there. And then I also have the Flickr right here. If you tap that, it's going to ask you to log into your Flickr account, and all the pictures and photos that you have in your Flickr account are going to populate here in a meaningful way. Okay, and then here we just have some random stuff that I added. Again, this is the magazine UX interface. Okay, if you go out, you go to the old TouchWiz interface. In this interface, you can still pinch away, and you can add regular home screens to this, or you can remove them. Okay, so let's take this away. You can have only one. So far, it seems that you have to have at least one of these, and then you can swipe over to your magazine UX, back to TouchWiz. And one more thing. Let's say you add one more screen here, right? So now you have two TouchWiz screens, this and this. At the bottom, you'll see them as lines. So the first line is the main one. The second line is the second screen you added. The little button that looks like a square there takes you to magazine UX interface. So if you tap that, it goes to magazine UX. So you can swipe over, or you can tap that square button. Will take you right to your magazine UX interface, and then you can scroll through. This is a loop, so you can scroll magazine, magazine, TouchWiz, 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 magazine, 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 TouchWiz. Okay. And just a couple other things. You do have the app drawer right here, the button at the bottom here, the app drawer button. So if you tap that, you go to your widgets or your apps. Here are the apps. Here are the widgets you can choose from. These widgets can only go onto the TouchWiz overlay. You cannot take these widgets and put them on magazine UX. Okay? If you want to put anything to magazine UX, you have to pinch out and choose from these guys. So far, you've got the news, you got the social app plugins, and you've got the application plugins. Okay? Again, let's go. From here, you have access to the app drawer as well. You just tap right here if you want to access any apps, and you can launch any app that you please. Okay, which I don't need right now. Okay, and then you have the pull-down notification center that has been revamped a little bit. It looks cleaner and more professional. But nothing new here. You have the brightness control here. You got the volume control. You've got your quick settings right here. If you tap these, you get the full quick settings. And if you press that pen button, you can edit your notifications panel. You can move stuff around. So take sound and replace it with GPS. So sound comes here, GPS goes there. If you look upstairs, pull this down. Sound GPS. Okay, so you can always rearrange everything here. And then a few other things. If you press and hold the power button in the middle, the home button, it takes you to Google Now. Okay, if you double tap it, takes you to Samsung S Voice. If you press this is the application switcher button now. It used to be the menu button. Now it is the application switcher button. So if you tap this, you'll see the current apps that are running. You can swipe them away to cancel them, or you can close them all at once by tapping that close all button. And from here you can also go to the task manager. And from task manager you have a couple options you can explore, like the RAM manager, and this will let you clear the memory, and it's probably going to make your tab a little faster. Okay, so that's basically all there is to it. You got your TouchWiz, you've got your magazine UX, you've got your app drawer, you've got your notification panel, and then you can edit everything around here. So this widget can disappear if you want. You can go over here, pick a brand new widget like this guy, and put it, let's go to the next screen. Oops, that didn't work. Okay, let's do it like this. So we'll go to the empty screen, grab a widget, put it right there. Or you can put it right here, and you can resize them too. Okay, and then with the magazine UX, pinch and edit any way you please. And then if you press home button, it takes you to TouchWiz home. And that should basically cover everything that I needed to go over. Just to give you a quick overview of the new interface, the magazine UX and the TouchWiz and the whole of Samsung. Now this is Android KitKat 4.4.2, which is the latest Android KitKat out there. And it has the TouchWiz plus the magazine UX interface. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and also you can go ahead and connect with me socially on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, for which all the links are in the description below. Thank you again, and I'll see you the next time. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just throw them down in the comments section below.